Hi, Stampers. It's Kelly Entz with Stamping with Kelly, and I'm so glad that you're joining me for this monthly online card club video tutorial. You might be watching live, you might be watching on the replay. No matter where you are in this world, please will you comment along with where you're watching from? It's so fun to see how far these videos are extending. I'm here in Edmonton, Alberta, Canada, and this is my online card club, which I've been running online for over 6 years and in person and online for over 19 years, which is pretty incredible. So I'm really glad that you're joining me. So uh, the purpose of this card club is to treat my customers with a minimum $40 order from me any month. You actually receive a packet of supplies with prepped cards, and then you just craft along with me using your own stamps for sayings and neutral ink and adhesives. So if you haven't reached out to me already, please do, because I've got a whole bunch of baskets available and I can send them anywhere in Canada. If you're joining me from outside of Canada, I'm so sorry. I can't send you the packet of supplies, but I'm really happy that you could join me for this tutorial. And then I hope it gives you some inspiration for what you can craft along at home as well. So let me just double check that everything is happening here. I think we're live. And if I could please, if anyone's live here, watching along, just make sure that you are messaging me to tell me that sound is good, picture's good, because when you're over here doing tech support and everything, it's a lot sometimes. So thank you so much for watching and for tuning in and for commenting along. It makes me so happy to be able to interact with so many of you through this online platform. It's a really fun way of getting to craft together, and I love getting these new products in your hands. So you might be wondering a little bit more about Card Club. I run them for 6 months at a time. So if you're watching this in July of 2026, this is a really important message for you. You have the opportunity to join Card Club and get the best perks of all. So if you join from now until the end of December 2026, which is just 6 months, you can get extra benefits from me. There are two different ways of joining club. Well, I guess three sort of ways. Two of them have extra perks right now. So if you join with a commitment to purchase at least $40 of product over the next 6 months, you are going to receive your card club projects for free all of those months. You'll also get an extra special gift from me and like a gold star, which is not worth anything, but hey, you can brag about that too, right? But there's another way of joining as well, which will save you $5 off per month. So essentially, you're getting one of your months for free. If you join right now and prepay for the class, it's normally $20 drop in, but you can get it for $15 a month when you prepay right now for July to the end of December. You can get all of your card club classes for free, or sorry, for a discounted rate. So $5 off per month. So not free with that option, but you can definitely get it for free if you decide to purchase your minimum $40 worth of products. Now there is a third way, and it doesn't get you the extra gifts or the meaningless or worthless gold star, but it's great for those of you who join who are not signing up for 6 months in January or July. You can join Card Club at any time. And all that means is when you place a $40 minimum order with me, you get a free set of cards from me. So I'm sold out of this month's kits, but I do have so many kits from the past available for you to choose from. So just send me a note and I can send you the link. I think I've probably got 40, 50 more or more card kits that you can choose from. And with all online classes that go along with it, that will teach you new instructions, tips, techniques, everything that you want to know to take your cards up a notch as well. So even if you're not watching this in January or July, please reach out to me because I would love to have you crafting along with me, whether it's on this video or maybe one of our past videos that we've shared together. So I'm just going to double check here. Everything is good. Yes, yes, yes. I'm seeing everything is good. Okay, now why am I not seeing comments though? That's kind of funny. Okay, I'm switching around. Oh, yay, Michelle is here. Sounds great. Looks fabulous. Oh my goodness. I just love you. Thank you, my friend. Okay. So we have so much to cover this month because it's kind of like new on top of new. So I've got a whole bunch of slides to show you. We've already talked about Card Club and joining for the next 6 months. That's probably one of the most important things to do right now, because then you can reap those extra rewards. But we also have some special promotions from me and also from Stampin' Up. So from me, first of all, this freebie is available with a minimum $100 order. So if you purchase at least $100 this month, you're actually going to get this ephemera pack with a whole bunch of beautiful gold foil pieces and some sequins too. So those gold foil pieces that you're seeing on your screen right now are just one sheet of the ephemera, and you're actually going to get 5 sheets of that, plus those cute sequins at the bottom there as well. So that's for free with a minimum $100 order, as a big thank you to you. And Stampin' Up! Has a promotion at $100 as well. So theirs is a purchase with a purchase. So with a minimum $100 order in one shot, you have to make sure you're over that threshold in one order. You can actually purchase this exclusive stamp set for $7. This would normally be probably $30, I would say. It's two-step stamping. It's got lots of beautiful sayings. And two-step stamping, you can see those flowers there. That just means that you're stamping one of those flower images with a darker color and one of those images with a lighter color. And it can be the same color, maybe even stamped off. That means stamping on a scrap sheet and then having a lighter version of it that way. Or you can even combine colors and make this totally customizable. So you can do that for the flowers and also for the leaves. I love the sayings. I love that textural background stamp as well with those little dots. So there's lots of options for creativity with this set here. Again, you don't have to choose this month. If you haven't received the other ones from previous months, you can place an order for any of those, and they range from $5 to $7 per month. They were $5 before, now they're $7 moving forward. So and that's why I say they kind of range in price a little bit. We have a brand new product, and I'm so excited about this. We have to play in person with this, and I'm going to do some exclusive videos that are specifically for this new hot foil system that Stampin' Up! Has brought out. This is to be used along with our Stampin' Up! It's kind of, oh, it's over my shoulder in the wide shot, but our Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine works along with this hot foil system to create a debossed look. So it embosses it into the paper, presses it down, and it applies hot foil to your sheets of paper and other materials as well. I'm seeing ribbons, I'm seeing like pencil cases, I'm seeing all different kinds of materials. So I can't wait to learn more and then share that with you as well. So stay tuned over the coming weeks for a little bit more information for this. And then also probably an in-person crafting event where you could join me here in South Edmonton and come over and play with some of my metallic magic. I have an online class that I'm doing on Thursday too, which is happening live Thursday afternoon and is on replay forever. It's actually on the online store right now. You can purchase it as a standalone, or if you purchase this pack of materials, this system, hot foil system, then you will actually receive this class included for free. So that's a pretty amazing value. So this is what the machine looks like when you receive it. And then you purchase products that go along with it. But I've got my box here that I'm going to take you through, and you'll have to just kind of stick with me here because I've got a lot to show you. And it's a lot to look at too. Okay, so here's my box with all of my goodies in here. So the real amazing thing is this platform here, which you can see is electronics. It has a cord that it works with, and it heats up this plate, which is like kind of a silicone mat. And then you've got the buttons down here, which will show you the readiness of the plate in terms of its heat to actually execute the Metallic Magic. You've got 2 shims and spacers. So this is the hot foil shim. They're hard plastic, as you can see here. They're meant to work with this, because what you end up doing is putting a die on here that heats up, putting foil, which comes in a roll that looks like this. I haven't opened this one. This one is the light pink. We have 3 colors right now. We've got the silver and the gold and the light pink. And probably, I'm assuming, the sky's the limit as to how many different colors and things we can have. But there's the metallic foil there. And you can see how wide it is. It's kind of just perfect size to fit onto our dies. Now, the dies used for this are very specific, so I'll show you those in a minute. But they are made of metal, and so this is a little, what's it called? Like a magnet, which you can use to pick up any of the hot tools and then release it as well. So this is a really fancy little addition that you can use along with your plate. Then if you're wanting to place your plate onto a surface, this is your silicone mat, which raises up the plate and it keeps it from making your surface too hot or scalding it. So there's a silicone plate that's also included in that. And then there's a second silicone plate here, which is for your dies, to put your dies on the side after you're finished with them and letting them cool down. So just what I've shown you right now are the pieces there that come as a part of the hot foil system. And when you purchase that, you're ready to go. You just need some dies. And I'm going to show you all the dies that I have here. It's like, guess what? I purchased all of them. I love this system. They showcased this at our conference, and I just fell in love with it because I'm basically a magpie and I really like shiny things. So I'm going to take this box to the side and show you these bit by bit. Okay, so the first one that I kind of fell in love with is this Flourishes and Frames, because it has a whole bunch of imagery that I don't know, can be mixed and matched and put as little textures in behind other elements on a card or even on a scrapbook page. And I'm just such a fan of anything that's like a die cut frame. So with this one here, you can bundle and get the photopolymer stamp set, which you can use with your clear blocks to make coordinating images. And this is not going to be foil at all. This would just be using regular ink. Okay, so there's your stamp set. But that's meant to be used along with our hot foil dies. So these dies actually include 2 different styles of die. Let me show you the difference. Okay, so can you see these are kind of the same shape, right? Now, if we take a look at them, we can see that this is actually a little bit more matte metal. This is a shinier metal. These are a traditional die cutting piece. These are going to be the hot foil system. Anything that's this like kind of more matte silver, it even has a different feel to it. So you can tell by looking at it. This entire panel here is to be used with the heat system. And then this section here. And then this die here, and then all of these shapes are going to be used to cut out the foiled cardstock that you create. So the first step would be to heat up your machine, and then you're going to put your die on there, put your foil, put your paper, and let that sink in a little bit. Then you're going to crank it through your Stampin' Up! Cut and emboss machine. It has to be the Stampin' Up! Cut and emboss machine, not the Big Shot that we used to carry because it's not wide enough. The Big Shot is a little bit more of a narrow opening, and this tool here is a little bit wider. And so you need to have the new Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine. You're going to love that machine anyways, though. Like, if you haven't already upgraded, you definitely want it. It just has such a nice glide to it. It rolls through, that cranks so nicely. There's no grinding. I have been a demonstrator for a long time, I mentioned, and I have loved my Big Shots, but I tell you, they are problematic. And I had 3 of them that I would use for classes in person. And all three of them have had stripped gears and numerous problems where I've had to take them apart and do surgery on them. And I've had my one Stamp and Cut and Emboss machine now since it came out, so years at this point, never one problem, and it still glides through, no clunking, no weird gear catches. It's just lovely to work with. So if you haven't upgraded already, put that on your wish list. You deserve it. Truly you do. The ends also fold up, and it's really cute and white, and it just ends up being this big on your desk or wherever you're storing it. So it's definitely worthwhile to have in your collection. So also because you can use this hot foil system with it. So I really, really love this shape of these frames. So I'm really excited to use this bundle. But let me show you some of the other bundles that we have too. You'll be able to see the difference a little bit more easily with some different ones. So another bundle actually doesn't include a stamp set at all. This Butterfly Flight hot foil dies are a few different components. So can you see here the difference? This is the kind of matte metal. It's also like a thicker metal, like it's a lot thicker than our dies are. So this is the one that you're going to use with your hot foil system. Once you've got the paper that has the foiled accent on it and it's embossed into it, then you can actually use this die which coordinates, and you can cut out all of the shapes of those butterflies, right? Fabulous. They've thought of everything now, right? You can also cut out their little bodies and things like that. But instead of this coming with a stamp set, it actually comes with a pack of stencils. So these will just lie over top of your, not your die, but imagine you've got this image now onto a piece of paper, and you can apply the color here just by lining up these little notched edges. I like to do a little notch or like a little mark on my paper because you've got kind of a little bit more of a solid look, another accented solid, a little bit more detail, and then the bodies to go over top of those. I love this this way of thinking of things because it doesn't have to be all about stamping, right? We call it Stampin' Up, and it does involve a lot of stamping, but this is inking and using stencils. Okay, so that's another bundle. Again, a little bit different because it's not including a stamp set. We have the Classic Greetings hot foil dies. This is another standalone, and it includes a whole bunch of dies to use with the hot foil system that's going to give you those beautiful words, cursive words, and then you've got the dies to cut them out afterwards. So again, no stamp set to go along with this one. You don't need it because it's going to do all the work for you with foiling all those beautiful sayings. Echoes of Detail is another bundle. This one has the stamp set here. Lots of great textures there, but what really did it for me are these gorgeous dies. So these are hefty. Like, I can't even tell you how thick they are and how heavy they are. You can see they're all that matte color. So this is going to be embossing or debossing into the paper and pressing either the silver, gold, or the pink foil into the paper in these beautiful patterns. So lots and lots of detail there. And you don't have to just have this on, say, like a card front, and this would be like a background. It doesn't have to be like that. You can do this on a piece of paper and then cut out a shape, and then that entire shape would have this beautiful foil pattern on it. It's so heavy. Seriously, you guys. It's such a different feeling than our regular dies. This is another kind of standalone here. This is Sweetly Sentimental. And this includes dies for your hot foil machine that have all of these different sayings on there. And then you also have the dies to cut them out. So this is one die and this is one die. So you're going to get the hot foil onto your cardstock or whatever you're using in one shot. You get all of these different sayings. And then using these little squares, which align with these little squares here, you're going to center all the sayings, and then you can die cut those into cute little tags that you can use for all different kinds of projects. Love that. Again, not a bundle for that one because you've got just the sayings and then the little tag die to go along with it. This is another stamp set bundle. Shimmering Scenes is the name of this one. So the stamp set, you can see, has little bits and pieces that kind of nest into each other. So this stamped piece can either nest in here or in here. So you've got this little meadow, maybe you've got the meadow with the flowers, you've got the flowers or these bushes or trees, whatever you want to make them, mountain, and then some clouds coming up the top. So really fun to build those up together. Now, if you wanted to, though, you can really take it up a notch and foil the flowers. So you can see this is one of our foil dies, and it nests into this stamped image and will foil the flowers. You can also foil trees and this little arrangement of flowers, this little sprig. So it has the foil pieces and then also the dies to cut out those pieces so that you can have them as layers on your project as well. Is this making sense? I hope so. I have to do, a video that actually shows you how it works, but probably one of my favorites that I have been seeing these days is this Botanical Glow. Again, available in a bundle. It has this big stamp, which you can see can do an entire card front, right? It's so big, so detailed, and it's got that kind of mottled look, so it makes it look like it's watercolored, even though you're stamping it just as one stamp. And then complementary, but not necessarily overlaying perfectly, is this hot foil die, which again has that matte silver look, that hefty feel. So we know that this is to be used with our hot foil machine. It's not going to cut anything. What it's going to do is the hot metal will transfer the foil to your paper and then imprint it into the paper when you crank it through your Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine. So this piece here actually ends up being, you can see the thickness here, it ends up replacing the multi-purpose platform that we usually use as a shim for cranking through dies on our Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine. So Botanical Glow is the name of that bundle. And then we've got two more standalones. So this one I had to get because how clever is this? You've got all of the alphabet. You've got even special characters if you speak different languages, and all the numbers too. But you have so many pieces to this. You can see the matte metal is going to be for our heat. It's really, really heavy. And then you have the silver, shiny silver dies that will cut out the letters that you actually just embossed and imprinted into your paper. So you can use them on their own, you can use them together, however you want to do it. I think it's going to be really spectacular, and I love the option of having all the alphabet and the numbers and everything. This is the last one here, Swiss Dots. I'm really excited about this one because this piece can reuse the foil that you are using for other dies. So once you use the foil once, it transfers the foil to your paper, and then it will leave blank spots on the roll. This roll of foil will end up with blank spots. I don't know if I can get this open here easily. Let's just see. And so it will transfer onto the paper, and it means that you wouldn't get a nice clear stamped image, or sorry, not stamped image, but foiled image if you were to use that piece of foil again. Except, in my mind, I can use the foil over and over again, just shifting it a little bit and using this little polka dot die. Oh my goodness. This is like harder than it looks. There we go. So you can see it's very, very thin foil. So once it transfers onto your paper, then you're going to get this side showing, this really shiny foil side showing. But, I wouldn't want to throw out a piece that's this big. So what I'm thinking I'm going to do is just take that piece and use it again with these Swiss dots. And even if I just get a partial application onto my piece of paper, it'll look kind of distressed, right? It might not have every single dot from here, but I think that that's kind of a cool look anyway. So I'm going to showcase that in some of my classes, how to maximize your foil, because I know we like to do that, right? When we invest in a product that's a consumable, we want to make sure that we're getting the most out of it. So it's a fabulous new product. We are going to have so much fun with it in person. And also, I really want to invite you to watch my videos that I'm going to be posting when I'm playing with it and showcasing different techniques. Because, yeah, I love new tools. When we had the Stamp and Cut and Emboss machine that was released, this was probably like, I don't know, 18 years ago nearly, the original Sizzix one. It blew us all away and it opens up a whole new world of crafting. And I feel like this is that moment as well. So I look forward to crafting with you about that. With that, we have another promotion from Stampin' Up. This is available till August 10th. If you are a new subscriber for Paper Pumpkin, and it just needs to be a new email, then you can sign up for Paper Pumpkin and get 25% off your first kit. So just make sure you are taking advantage of this because these kits are so incredible. This is our monthly subscription service, which gives you a paper crafting kit that's a surprise every month in the mail. And it's so much fun to receive these kits. So what is the kit that you will receive? Well, we only have a little sneak preview. So it would be Kindred Greetings, which is available for subscribers who join from now until August 10th. And so we've got this little sneak peek here. It looks like we've got some inking that we're going to be doing. And it says textured card bases and envelopes. What I'm seeing there, though, is the most beautiful stencil that you can imagine with all those beautiful open leaves and little viney leaves as well. So just make sure you're subscribing because you don't want to miss out on this kit. The kit after that is going to be from August 11th till September 10th. Shipping in the mail, probably receiving it around like September 18th, something like that. And this one here is called Aspens of Gratitude. It's hand-painted watercolor designs, which is probably my favorite. I love watercoloring, but boy, I am a little bit particular. So anytime the watercoloring is done for me and then I can add embellishments and say that I made it handmade, I love it. So use Stampin' Up's incredible designers to your advantage because we do have a creative eye and don't discount that, but it is maybe not like a professional watercoloring technique that you have. So along with our Paper Pumpkin kit, so they're the sneak peeks, but we also have a coordinating add-on. So if you're interested in getting this die pack, has 4 different dies in it, and they coordinate with each of this quarter's paper pumpkins. So that means this month's and then the 2 that I just gave you sneak peeks of there as well. So just make sure you get that one there. Let's take a look actually at this month's paper pumpkin because it just arrived. And it's called Hooray for Birthdays. Again, it's July 2026. And this is what you would receive if you're a Paper Pumpkin subscriber. You can also choose to just do 1 month or 3 month, 6 or 12-month prepaid subscriptions are also an option too. When you get this little crafting escape, you'll get a little ink spot. In your first kit, you'll get a clear block, which you will use to mount any of these stamps that you want to use and stamp onto the paper there. And it also includes all the consumable supplies for these really cute cards. So again, Hooray for Birthdays. These are called easel cards. And you can see you get 2 vertical easel cards and a horizontal easel card. And what that means is that the card is meant. It has a score in the front. We're actually going to be making one of these as our last card here tonight. It's got a score in the center and then also a quarter of the way through, so that when you open up your card, it will actually just easel open like this. This embellishment will come over the top and stick above, and the recipient can put this onto their mantle and have it displayed in a really beautiful way that will showcase not only your hard work, but also your thoughtful message that you're sending to them. So this is going to make 9 different cards, 3 each of 3 designs, and you've got some really beautiful colors here. On these envelopes, they look pretty plain, but let me see if I can show you that they actually have like a clear embossed image on them. So can you see that there? This one is like an arch, this one is an oval, and then this one is an elongated hexagon. And the same thing with these card elements for the front. You've got the die cuts, but then you can see there's a little frame around them that adds that extra little bit of shine, and you can do a lot of fun techniques with that, with emboss resist and putting ink over the top. You've got 3 sheets of this incredible intricate laser cut paper that's already pre-watercolored and ready to go. Then you've got these really shiny stickers. These are cardstock weight, so when you peel them off, they're sticky on the backside, but they're the thickness of a cardstock weight of paper, so you don't have to worry about them being flimsy. You got a whole bunch of tags there, and then we get to our cardstock bases. So again, 3 of this horizontal, and then you've got the vertical ones as well. These operate in the same sort of way, and they would just easel up like that so that they can stay onto the surface and pop it up. Not only do you get all the supplies, you actually get all the adhesives that you'll need as well. So you've got mini glue dots in there, dimensionals, and even some sticky strips. So, oh man, what year is it? Not sticky strip, tear and tape. That's funny when my brain glitches like that, because I don't think we've had sticky strip for maybe over 12 years, but it's in that brain. It just doesn't go away. So the previous month, let's take a look at June too, because that one came after I did my June video, so I never actually showcased this. So June 2026, called Bikes and Blooms. This is a really, really fun kit. It kind of feels a little Norwegian to me, or like Swedish maybe. They ride bikes a lot in Sweden, right? I've been to Norway, but not Sweden, so maybe I shouldn't speak in countries that I haven't been to. But Bikes and Blooms will give you another 9 cards with this really fun bike design. So I like that this one here is showing just a little bit of the front of the bike. This has got the back half of the bike and then the full bike on the other picture. Oh, and the best way of seeing what the stamps are that are included in your pack are to look at the back here of your instructions. This also gives you really great information. So coordinating Stampin' Up! Colors, and it gives you the full stamp set so that you can reference that back. And you can even store it by making a little pocket if you want to do it that way. Or you can cut off this back piece and then make a little pocket like this that will hold your stamp set inside there. And then you can have all of the images ready to go. Inside, I should also show you our full color instructions. With great tips and tricks, but it's all visual based, so you don't have to be reading things. You just look at it and you kind of just know what to do. The ink color in this kit is Calypso Coral, and you've got nice watercolor bases in that yellow color. I think it's Daffodil Delight. I can look it up here. Crushed Curry, they're saying, actually. Old Olive and Calypso Coral. Then you've got laser cut pieces, which you'll just pop out. This is 3 layers, but I like to actually pop them out all together at the same time. That's so fun though, isn't it? This great image for the front of the card. And then you can see that actually these little flowers will nest right inside, and you'll stamp those over top of the little basket of greens in there. You've also got the opportunity to stamp some flowers into these little brown baskets. And what is this one used for? Ah, I see. So that actually gets layered over the top of this other one. So you actually get 2 layers of the same, and then you get those cute stamped flowers on the inside. Then we've got metallic embellishments, laser cut pieces, and you get, of course, 3 of those to go onto your cards. Can you see the silver metallic on there? Really fun. On the cards and envelopes, or sorry, the envelopes here, then you got 3 different styles with a really pretty thin line on those on the front and the back. And of course your adhesive and some cute little butterfly embellishments. Oh, look at those. So cute with the silver embellishments on there. So every month I do order extra kits because these are kind of sold out every month. I should say usually. Sometimes they have a little bit of a surplus, but these ones, once they're gone from Stampin' Up, they are not available for purchase. So I always get extra ones each month. So if you're hoping to join me for like a cafe crafting event where we can craft together and sip on delicious coffees or mocktails or cocktails. You can have like a full brunch or a delicious meal and craft along with me at Brew and Bloom South. I have events going on with them kind of all the time. So if you're looking to go out there, you can even do a private event with me, with you and your friends. They don't charge any extra for us to have the table there. We just order whatever we want to eat off the menu. There's no minimum purchase. And I bring kits like this that you can craft. And if you're interested in any of the other kits that I have, oh my goodness, I've got over 150 different kits to choose from. I've got it all on spreadsheets, so I can send you those links. Just make a comment in the video below and I can get those sent off to you. I've only got one thing left to say on our promotions, and that's our new welcome box. So if you sign up to be a demonstrator now and moving forward in the months and years to come, we will have a new and improved welcome for you as a demonstrator. So when you decide to get your starter kit, what you're going to do is make the commitment and purchase $135 is what it costs. They're going to give you a voucher that you're going to redeem for up to $165 of product. Plus, they're now going to give you this amazing welcome box. So if you are a current demonstrator, you need to listen up now because we have a limited time offer where you can have this box and it's the only time that you can have this box. It's not going to be available to us if you happen to not be a demonstrator in the future and sign up again, okay? If you're a current demonstrator right now, this is your chance to get this welcome box. It's actually $85 value, and you can redeem benefits, Stampin' Rewards benefits for this as well. But you only have a 2-week period, and I think we're already 1 week into it. So if you're interested in getting this box and you're a current demonstrator, just make sure you get it sooner than later. And if you're a customer who's thinking, you know what, I would love to have a discount on all of these products that I'm falling in love with, and hey, maybe in the future or now, I might even like to earn a little supplemental income to support my hobby and maybe even support my family a little bit too. So this is a pretty amazing thing that Stampin' Up! Offers. So you can make it whatever you want from your demonstratorship, but it's just $135 of a commitment to start. And you get to choose out way more than that in product and not pay shipping and GST. Plus, you get this welcome box as well. So this is a win-win-win situation. There are no pressure or expectations from me or from Stampin' Up! For that matter. So if you decide to sign up as a demonstrator and then it doesn't work for you in the future, that's totally okay. We will just keep open lines of communication, and I'll let you know like that there's certain perks, of course, to maintaining your demonstratorship, because wouldn't you love to continue getting at least 20% off your products? Yes, absolutely. So if those things are tweaking your brain and you're thinking, you know what, I actually would love to get a discount on these amazing products that I know and I love and I have on my wish list, we should do it this way, okay? It's the Stampin' Up! Starter Kit. And it signs you up to be a demonstrator, but again, whatever you do from there is up to you, okay? So with that being said, let's go back to my desk view and we are going to get to our crafting. So the first project that we have here is a bonus project, and this is available to people when they pick up from my house in South Edmonton. Let me flip to my other screen here now too. So many screens, so many screens. Okay, dokie. So we've got the chat here. Yeah, sticky strip. I know, right, Michelle? It's like once it's in there, it's not going anywhere. But what did I do yesterday? I can't remember. But I'll remember the name of a product from 12 years ago. And the colors too from 12 years ago. Isn't that a funny thing? So you might have a project that looks like this, or it might be in kind of the yellow color scheme. No matter what you have here, we're going to craft it together. If you don't have this project, it's because you didn't opt in to picking up your projects from my house in South Edmonton. These projects that I'm going to show you after this project are all available for free shipping anywhere in Canada with either a minimum $40 product order, or you can choose to pay the $20 class fee. And we talked about joining my card club for 6 months where you get $5 off a month. It's a no-brainer. Honestly, it's a fabulous way to do it. But if you would like these projects mailed to you, maybe you're out of town and you can't come to my house, that's okay. There's just a nominal fee to add these projects on every month. But my mentality is that for people in Edmonton who want to pick up their projects and their products from my house and do it all in one trip, it's saving me postage, and so I can use my budget to have them experience some more creativity. So I hope you're aligned in my thinking there. I'm not trying to punish you if you live out of town. That's surely not what I'm trying to do. But if I've got a budget, I would love to spend it on more crafting, right? So the two different projects that you might have here are actually from a kit from the past, Paper Pumpkin, called Meaningful Flowers. This is available from my stash for $35. It makes 8 different cards, and this is actually a really special kit because you'll receive the Pretty Peacock ink pad plus 2 stamp sets. Every month of their anniversary, Stampin' Up! Actually sends out an extra stamp set in the kit. So normally you would just receive this one here, which has the great sayings and some line art. And then this one actually gives you a bonus 2-step stamping, or this like really gorgeous distinctive, that's what it's called, distinctive stamp set too. So you're getting even more bang for your buck and not paying any extra for this. So I have 2 full kits available. Just let me know if you are interested in those. I can ship those anywhere in Canada. So the 2 different styles of cards, you're going to make 4 of each of these if you do purchase that kit. One of them here is this beautiful forget-me-not flower. So it's got this cute little panel, and then you've got a tag which you can stamp your saying on. And then on the back here, it has a description of the forget-me-not flower, and you can write your message there. This one here is a lily pad. So they've got this vellum piece here, which you can kind of see through a little bit, and you put it in as a pocket, which will hold this little lotus flower and lily pad. And you can stamp your saying on there, tuck that in the front, and then this one opens up just like a regular card. And it has the description of the lotus flower on the back. So to put these cards together, they're quite simple. This one here, I did want to mention that the stamp set that I used, oh, I'm looking in that envelope, I don't have it. The stamp set that I used was a little bit bigger than the tag that they provided. So you can see, I didn't forget your birthday. I just wanted it to last longer, which I love, for the forget-me-not flower. That's actually coming from a stamp set called Phrases and Frames. And it's got lots of amazing sayings to go together. So you can put the thinking of you with sending prayers and heartfelt sympathy to you and your family. So one for the outside and one for the inside. You've got have a fabulous day, happy anniversary, sending you hugs, happy birthday wishes and thinking of you, and then saying for the inside for all of those too. And then it comes as a bundle with these gorgeous frames. And you guys know I'm a sucker for layering frames onto my cards. So this is a beautiful way. You can even use this for scrapbooking and journaling too. So Phrases and Frames is available from our new catalog, and it's going to be available for at least the next few months here. So if you did want to have a little bit of a larger saying on there, just cut a piece of your basic white cardstock to fit your saying, and then I just flagged the ends just like this little tag that was included in the kit. So to put the rest of this card together, you're going to put your little forget-me-not flowers on Stampin' Dimensionals, something like this, mini dimensionals or regular dimensionals, and pop that up. I tied this linen thread into a bow, put that on with a little mini glue dot. These are our mini glue dots. You also get these in the kits too. They're just a little bit different format, but they're great to be included in these kits as well. And then I actually put on some of the embellishments. Let me show you, because I embellished that one a little bit more. So these gems, I put one here. I don't know if you can see that. These are little clear gems, one there and one there on this card. Then when I made the card yesterday, I really wanted to take it up a notch, and I actually put Wink of Stella on top of all of these flowers. So when you look at this in person, it's just so sparkly and pretty. And Wink of Stella is just the perfect addition to any project. It comes like this. It's like, it says it's clear, but it's kind of like a platinum shimmer. And you can paint it on, you can spackle it, and it just adds such wow factor to any project that you're doing. So Wink of Stella is a great product. Make sure you're adding that to your wish list and your order, and you'll have so much fun embellishing your cards. So that's this card here for you, and then I'm going to take you through making this Thinking of You card here. I'll put this up to the side for now, and I'll put this one over to the side because I'm working on this one. So again, I'm using the Phrases and Frames and the Pretty Peacock ink. That's the coordinating stamp ink pad color that you would get in this kit. But you can see I'm using the larger one because I have that in my stash. When you get the kit, you get the smaller ink spots, which also work really well. But if I've got the big one, man, I'd like to use that instead, right? So this one is really quick and easy. You can open up your ink, stamp your Thinking of You or whatever saying that you want on there. And, oops, don't stamp over the silicone mat there, Kelly, because that won't give you a very nice look. And then while that's drying, I actually have done a little bit of the work before, and I put on some tear and tape. You could also use our Stamp and Seal, which is our standard adhesive, inline adhesive that we use. So you can just make a little pocket. If you don't want to make a pocket to have your lotus flower slip in and out of, that's totally okay as well. You could also put this on with dimensionals just as a layer on top of the front and have it be a little bit more simplified for you if you didn't want that interactive element. But I'm going to just take off this backing for my tear and tape. Did I call it tear and tape that time? I'm in autopilot now. I'm not even paying attention. Calling it whatever I want anymore, not even noticing. So this little tear and tape actually comes with the kit. So it's really nice if you're a new stamper, or if you're giving this as a gift, or hey, if you're even an experienced stamper who wants a little supplemental adhesive every month. These kits are so good for that. I'm going to put this on with dimensionals because I love dimensionals. And I'm working my way through kind of like almost a medium-sized dimensional, which is weird. It must have come in one of my Paper Pumpkin kits. We have mini dimensionals and regular dimensionals. And then this is like a medium-sized one, which I've never seen for purchase from Stampin' Up, but sometimes included in our kits, like our Paper Pumpkins. And we also have our kits collection, which they're adding to, gosh, every second month they're adding new adorable kits. There's so many to choose from now. And then, of course, I told you about my little kit stash. Haha, little. Okay, just making sure that my card opens up properly. So I'm assembling this right. And here we go. And now we can just slip our little Thinking of You inside of the pocket there. Again, if you wanted to put this on with dimensionals, I might just show you that option too, because that's cute too. There are some people who really love interactive cards, and then there are some people who just want like a simple card for the people who are receiving them. So you might fall into one of those categories, or you might have someone that you're sending this card to that falls into one of those categories. So whatever you choose, it's all up to you. It's so cute though. Thinking of You. I want to make sure that saying is nice and straight. Here we go. The final finishing touch for this card, there's no twine on this one. It's just a whole bunch of these little dewdrop elements. They have two different sizes, so I'm kind of spreading out the two different sizes. There we go. Just little dewdrops. Where did I put this on? Here? Sure. You know, you're overthinking it, right? I do that a lot whenever I'm placing embellishments. So pretty. Can you see where I put on those embellishments? They just kind of glow with the light in person. So this project that I've made here is quite all inclusive. You get the kit, and we're making it just as per the kit. So there are tons of different ways of putting these projects together, though. And if you're a Paper Pumpkin subscriber, or if you happen to get the odd kit from me, I highly recommend that you go onto a Facebook page called the Paper Pumpkin Fan Club. It's run by my friend Rachel Tessman, who is just filled with all kinds of creativity that she uses to make alternate projects every single month for all of the Paper Pumpkin kits that have ever come before. So she has a really incredible repertoire of information that you can tap into at any moment. And she just has these classes that sometimes turn the one kit, so you can see this one makes 8 cards. They can sometimes be up to 25, 30 cards that she's creating from one kit like this. So be sure, if you want to, think outside the box and use your kit in a different way, not just make 4 of the same card, 4 of the same card. Get onto her page. Again, that's Paper Pumpkin Fan Club. You don't really have to, I think you just have to agree to some simple rules like being nice on the internet, which is like hopefully a standard operation for you. But then you can get on that Paper Pumpkin Fan Club page and get access to all this information that she has. So if you are interested in those kits, just make sure you reach out to me. I do have refills available for that kit as well. The refills come with just the consumable supplies. So it doesn't come with the 2 stamp sets and the ink spot in the pretty peacock color, but you will get the supplies for the cards and the tags and everything like that. The next project that we're going to do is going to look different for everyone, actually. So it might look something like this, or it might have more of like a greeny sort of look, but let me show you what we're working with here. I wanted to play, and so using the ephemera packs, which are really awesome image packs and saying packs from Stampin' Up, I wanted to play and see if we could use our own creativity to put together a design using some standard elements and these embellishments, which were going to be different for everyone. So the ephemera that you've received, maybe no one else has received that has received my projects this month. So this is going to be like a one-of-a-kind card, and I would love to see you post this. You can send it to me personally in the chat, or you can even post it online too. Just tag me in it, because I'd love to see what you come up with. So there's a few different ephemera packs right now that are images, and you can see these little images can come together in so many different ways. And then there's also an ephemera pack that has sayings. So what you're going to have in your kit, your little envelope here, is a strip of designer series paper that's a new specialty paper. It's Glimmer, and that's not a part of these ephemera. You're also going to have some designer series paper, and then you're going to have a couple of ephemera pieces that can come together along with a stitched rectangle and some embellishments. These ones are coming actually from my free gift this month with a minimum $100 order, where you get all these cute little sequin embellishments along with those gold ephemera pieces, which we'll use later on. So I've actually made a couple of different cards. You can choose to do it vertical or horizontal. Let's take a closer look at this one. So again, we've got our designer series paper background. We've got our strip of our striped Glimmer paper. We've got our stitched rectangle. Those are all going to be standard for everyone. And then from there, we can put on our other little ephemera pieces. So this is a plant, a little tag that says hello there, and I even have this little scallop piece that's going along the bottom in that basic beige color. And then everyone is going to have 7 sequins. So you can put it together vertically, you can put it even horizontally. So this one, again, you've got your designer series paper, your specialty Glimmer striped paper, your stitched rectangle, and your sequins. And then I have the saying ephemera and these cute little balloons. So get inspired. I want to see what you come up with here, because these ephemera packs are so much fun to play with. And when Kathy and I were putting these together, she was having so much fun matching things together that worked. And surprisingly, there were just so many combinations that seemed really, really natural, even though you're taking ephemera images from two different packs and then ephemera sayings from a third pack and putting them all together. It was just great to see how these, oh gosh, I almost did the thing that I didn't want to do again. This piece of striped paper is cut a little bit longer, so you'll have to just figure out how you want this. I'm thinking maybe horizontal for this one. And then put this onto your designer series paper. Lay that on there. And then we're going to just snip off the excess, just like this. If you don't do it that way, that's okay, no problem. It will just stretch from one side of your white cardstock to the other side. So now that I've got that on there, I can place this into the spot. And then I'm going to put this rectangle on with dimensionals. You can choose to take this up a notch with some blending brushes, some Wink of Stella spritz, whatever you want to do. I can't wait to hear what you come up with. I'm going to go simplified for this one. Do I want this to be vertical or horizontal? I'm kind of thinking horizontal now this time. So I'll have it overlap just a little bit there. So when we get to our ephemera pieces, you'll notice on the back side there that there's a little line. This is the adhesive backing. So I don't recommend curling these because you're actually going to score the front of this cardstock because it is quite a thick weight of cardstock. So use your paper snips, your scissors, or take your pick tool to just kind of pick off that background, and that will be really, really awesome and keep your image intact without it crumpling. So if you don't want to have it laying flat onto your project, like this works really well, you can also put on dimensionals. So I might put this part on with dimensionals. That might be pretty, hey? Every chance to use a dimensional is a wonderful opportunity. So if you do want to put it on with dimensionals, you don't have to take off the backing. I already have, and that's not going to be a problem. Everything is okay. You just put some dimensionals on there, and then you can pop it up. Dimensionals just make everything so much more fun, I think. With deepest sympathy. That's such a pretty, simple card. Right? Add on our little sequin. Ooh. Oh, I just had a tickle. Watch what I do as I struggle. Sorry. Isn't that funny how that happens? Excuse me, I've been swallowing my whole life. I promise. There we go. I always struggle with like 7 embellishments like that. Because I'm like, well, where does the other one go? Because I want 3 and 3, and then I have one extra one. Make sure as well that you're keeping your cute little envelopes, because these are great for storing your cards in to make sure that your embellishments don't come off as they're being stored in a box or however you're storing them. And these can also be used for the mail. So you can write on the back of the card the mailing address, or of course you can use labels, or even a little piece of photocopy paper that you can stamp and put on the inside of the envelope, and then just seal it up like that. So yeah, super cute. Love those. Let's go through where you'll find these products in the catalog. So on page 70, we have these great products called Mix and Match. It's 2 saying Mix and Match ephemeras. One that's a little bit more geared to scrapbooking, which is called Here and Now, and then one is called Sincerely Noted. That's a little bit more card making kind of sayings. So like heartfelt thanks, you did it, deepest sympathy, just a note, all of these different options. And those are the ones that we use for our card today. You'll get 2 of each of these sheets when you get the ephemera pack. So it's a really great value because they're die cut, they're stamped, they're colored, they're all ready to go, and the adhesive is on there. We also have the Meant for You mix and match. Let's see, I have that one too. This is a really fun one. I like the bird. It's always nice to have like one little graduation cap because you always seem to know one person who's graduating. You can see that's where the bouquet came from for there. This is that little scallop border piece that I used on the other card. Lots of bits and pieces that you can have fun with. There's also one that's called Under the Sun. And that one's got some really fun and different imagery. Again, I'm only showing you one sheet of these designs, but remember you get actually double these. So you got the cute bicycle, the little paper boat, rubber boots and sunglasses, flip-flops, this cute little boogie van, watermelon, and a whole bunch of cute different things. Little beach chair and umbrella. That one's called Under the Sun. And then there's actually 2 more. So one is the classic labels mix and match. We didn't use this one today, but that one has white labels with like oh, what color would this be? I feel like it's crumb cake, little border on them. So again, great for using as little tags or stamping sayings on them, or even for scrapbooking for like a little bit of journaling. And then the last one here is not new, but I'm so glad that they brought this one back. It's called Greetings for All Mix and Match. It's got black sayings on white paper and white sayings on black paper so that you can have all the sayings that you need for even Christmas, thinking of you, thanks, happy birthday, everything that you need all ready to go for all of your crafting. Also on this page, though, I do want to point out this Everyday Essentials Mix and Match 12 by 12. This is a specialty designer, this is a designer series paper. It's not specialty, it's just design series paper that coordinates with the colors of all of these different kits. So this is what we use for that rectangle that gets applied to the cardstock base. And there's so many really fun and different designs on this. It's a little bit more graphic in nature, and it's less like a pattern, like or an image like leaves or something like that, except for, I guess, one of these sheets here, which I'll show you in a second. This one here has some flowers and sprigs on it. And then this one has some little, like a repeating soft floral design, but for the most part, it's like lines and dots. But I really like this because it coordinates with all of those mix and match ephemera packs. The last product that we used on this is a really fun new online exclusive, which you can see here has these really fun little fine glimmer lines. They really are quite small and quite detailed. This is a specialty paper that is available online, and it's called the Shimmering Stripes 12 by 12 Specialty Designer Series paper. So make sure you're checking those online exclusives because there's so many items that are available and releasing online every month, every second month. So just please be sure to check online because there's so much more than just what's available in our paper catalog, okay? The paper catalog is a wonderful resource and I will never knock it, but I sure love that there's always new products being added to our online store. So if you're shopping, you can just take a look. Stamping with Kelly, Kelly Ents. That will bring up my website, so which is stampingwithkelly.stampinup.net, and you can click shop now. And when you place a minimum $40 order, you actually receive some prepped projects from me with an online class. Woohoo! Okay, we have another project to work on here. And this one is so different in terms of styling for me. It's definitely a style that I've played with in the past. Uh-oh, what's happening here? Oh, I hate it when links pop up and things like that. Okay, I got it fixed up. This is like a really soft design. It almost looks a little bit more traditional in style, and I love how these products come together in like a really fun version of like a, I don't know, it kind of feels a little bit retro. Like I feel like this is a modern version of like a card that I would have made like 10, 15 years ago. So I can't wait to show you this and have it come together for you. So you might have one of two different designs. You might have like a combination where you have like a bigger gold foil butterfly and some smaller flowers that we're going to put together into like a little bit of a collage. Or you might have one large flower and some smaller butterflies that you can put together. Those butterflies are all gold foil. They're so pretty. But this card is going to come together so quickly, so beautifully, and you're really going to, I think, love the results of this one. So let's start working on this together. So I'm going to start with the base of my card, and I'm just going to work up from there, okay? The base is going to be our basic white, which I've already scored in half, and you just need to burnish this nicely with your bone folder. That makes sure that our card folds nice and flat and doesn't try to open up. Then we're going to put on our two-tone cardstock. You might have this hydrangea hue color that I've used on my other project there, or you might have fresh freesia, which is the more purple color. But what I want to show you about this product is that it's actually two-tone cardstock. So one side has the regular pure Stampin' Up! Color. This is the fresh freesia side. This is the hydrangea hue. And then on the back side of it is a lighter color. So you have a decision to make. Are you going to use the full saturation or the lighter version? I don't know if you can see the difference between these two, but the one here on the left is the darker, like regular saturation, and then we've got a lighter version here on the right. I also have scored using my scoring tool a little border frame around that. And just a reminder that you can use your scoring tool in so many different ways, and it doesn't have to be just scoring your cardstock so that it folds nicely in half when you're making a cardstock base. There's so many different ways of using that tool. You can create all kinds of boxes and different tags and 3D elements to your cards, and even scrapbook pages too. So please just think outside the box when you're using that product, and even look online for some great tutorials. There's so many people who are really doing creative things. I'm going to now do a cute little ribbon technique, which has two loops and then a little sprig coming out the bottom. Everyone has this new fresh freesia ribbon in their pack, and I'm just going to go on the back side here and put a little bit of Stampin' Seal, or my preference is actually to use the Tear and Tape. Then I have this little like 1-inch piece, maybe 1.25 inches, taking off the backing there, and then working from the front, I can actually put the edge down and then loop it once, loop it twice, and then fold it back so that it has a little tag coming out the bottom, just like that. I'm going to snip this. I gave you a lot to work with there. So if you want to use a different ribbon technique, you don't have to do this loop tag technique. You can do all kinds of different things, even tying a bow and putting it on there with like a glue dot or something like that. The favorite way though for me to make sure that this ribbon doesn't go anywhere is to put another layer of the Tear and Tape over top. And I'm actually not taking off this backing so that it just stays put exactly where it is. And the reason is because I want dimensionals behind this piece. This is a really cool, and I don't know, they've really thought through this suite, I think. It's called Framed Violets, and we were talking about online exclusives. This is one of our newest online exclusives that just became available July 1st. And it's got designer series paper, a beautiful die and stamp set pack, as well as even some embellishments too and ribbons. So make sure you're taking a look at those online exclusives. There's just so many things to be seen. Oh, you know what I should have done is start popping these little pieces out beforehand. Stampin' Up! Makes a few different tools that will help out with this. You just have to be careful with the foil. I wouldn't want you to scratch off the foil. So if you're using the die brush, you can definitely do that, but I would go from the back side. For this one, I think I actually might just bend it and lift up kind of one edge of these little embellishment pieces and then kind of pulling them out like that. These are new embellishments that come in a 12 by 12 sheet, and it has these butterflies that are the gold foil, and you can either have them as like this open wing style or even solid, which I'll show you in just a second here. Just keep popping these out so I don't get distracted. There we go. It's coming together so nicely, coming apart. So many little bits and pieces, but it sure ends up looking gorgeous when it is all done. I might use my little take your pick pokey tool end to take these little tiny pieces out. I gave myself the hard work, didn't I, tonight? On Mondays, we do an interactive card club night, which is so much fun. I just love it. It's a chance to get together and chat virtually, of course. And so people are joining from their homes onto like an interactive video conference call. We use Google Meet, and it's so much fun to be able to craft together. And I highly recommend switching it up. If you normally join on the Facebook Live or even watching on the YouTube, set your calendar, and on the third Monday of the month, join us maybe for our interactive video call, because it's a really fun time. Okay, this is a very small butterfly. For the larger butterfly, I actually cut mini dimensionals in half and put it underneath that. So I think that it's not going to work for this one. It's just a little bit too small. So what I'm going to do is just bend my beautiful butterfly's wings. And then I'm going to put this on with some Tombow. You can use the Tombow multi-adhesive or even a fine tip glue pen would be perfect. Just a little bit in the center though. And I'm going to put this little guy up here at the top and let that start to dry. And now we can start putting our flowers together and our little leaves together. So I'm a huge fan of dimensionals, as you know, so I'm going to just flip all these over and start putting dimensionals on the back side. You even probably have a couple small little butterflies that we can put on there. So use your dimensionals, including the edge pieces of your dimensionals. So like for mini dimensionals, I'll cut them in half, and I'll even cut the edge pieces down into little strips too. Sometimes the mini dimensionals are small enough, and sometimes you just need them even smaller than that. Let's see here. Cut some of those in half for my little itty bitty butterflies. Boy, they're pretty. You guys know I like anything shiny though, so I'm such a sucker for anything shiny. These little tiny white ones, I'm just going to put on with a little dot of Tombow glue, so not a problem with that. And then you'll notice that I gave you a rectangle that's basic white. And this is so that you can do a technique of your choice. The one that I did is something that I really love to do but don't do very often, and that is snipping apart different sayings. So from that Framed Violets stamp set, I use this Happy Birthday to You stamp, which stamps all three of these lines together, and then I snip them apart using my paper scissors. So on this card here, I even did Take Care and snipped that apart. So let me show you the Happy Birthday to You. That's a great option. If you guys have the option in your kit here where you got one big kind of flower, I just put the butterflies around it and then scattered those using that big flower as its own element. Not worrying about layering things up too much. The ink color that I'm using is, well, I should use the coordinating color, shouldn't I? Fresh fuchsia. But what I used on the other one is the hydrangea hue. I'll show you this as a great example, though, of the difference of our ink pads. So Stampin' Up! Is currently undergoing a revision for their ink pads. They're switching to a magnetic version. So these ones can be pulled apart like this. They can be hinged open and they kind of like stay together. They can even be opened just one-handed, which is really great for people with mobility issues. So I love this option. Our current ink pads for everything other than our in colors, which just came out, are going to be in like almost like a cosmetic case. You flip it open, you slide it, and then you've got your ink pad here. So this is a little bit trickier for people who have mobility issues. Sometimes you get inky fingers with it, and but it is a really great system. So if you like this system, you have 1 year, basically until May of 2027, to purchase this style of ink pad. It's going to be available in every current color except for the brand new ink colors, the 5 new ink colors that just joined us in May of 2026. Those ones are going to be only available in this new magnetic style. You can see, maybe I'll open this up actually. You can see the size difference for the ink pad is, I don't know, not significant. So it's a little bit longer. It's a little bit narrower, but I find that it's a really good configuration. This is also going back to our firm linen pad, whereas our current pads are a firm foam. Now that has benefits and negatives. Some people like the stamped image of a firm foam better, but what we're noticing over time is that the firm foam is actually reacting with some of the ink formulations, which are made of chemicals, and the foam is made of chemicals, and sometimes certain formulations, so certain colors, will interact with the foam and start to break it down. We notice it a little bit more in the red colors and even like the deep purple colors. So if you find that you've got an ink pad that's, you know, not aging very well, normally for me it lasts like about 5 years, but I have linen ink pads that are over 20 years old. So those ones definitely have the longevity. As long as you've got a reinker, you can keep reinking those for a long, long time. But it might be something to consider that certain colors might be on your list to replace when they become available in the firm linen new magnetic style pads in May of 2027. Okay, so that's a long-winded way of saying, hey, you don't have to buy all new ink pads. That's not a necessity. If you like things to match, I mean, that's on you, but you don't have to have them matching. There's nothing wrong with the current ink pads. You might have a personal preference, and that's okay. Oh, sorry, I'm stamping a little bit off screen there. I just stamped a happy birthday to you, and I'm going to snip this apart. So yeah, everyone has their own personal preference. So I'm happy that Stampin' Up! Is giving us plenty of notice. I'm happy that they're thinking about people who have arthritis in their hands, or even are stamping one-handed due to an injury or something like that, because it just means that more people can be creative with less barriers with these new ink pads that are magnetic. They do have a little bit of a price increase because magnets cost money. You guys know this about magnets, though, probably if you've ever had to purchase anything with a magnet, it costs like a surprising amount of money to have magnets on things. So you will see a little bit of a cost increase. Again, that might be a benefit. It might be something that works even better for you because you've got arthritis, or you might want to purchase your ink pads replacements before then, so that you can get the current style for a little bit of a discounted price with the what am I trying to say, with the design that has that firm foam is what I'm trying to say. Okay, I've got my little pieces of saying. I'm going to put all these other little bits here to the side. And I'm going to stick these on with some mini dimensionals again. That's like the word of the day. July Card Club, brought to you by Mini Dimensionals. for when you want to adhere all the small things. Some people only use mini dimensionals. I kind of like the size of the bigger ones personally, but for something like this, oh, it's nice to have those small ones. I'm taking the backings off already. That might be a little bit premature, but that's okay. I'll just stick them over here, and I'm going to layer up my beautiful flowers, and then I'll put my saying kind of nestled in amongst the beautiful flowers. Okay. I took the oval that has a little bit of a part cut out here. So I'm going to be strategic with my little leaf here to cover that. But I don't think that you guys will have any of those. I think I looked through those pretty carefully and made sure that I took the ones that were just cut slightly off the paper. It doesn't happen very often, but sometimes we're maximizing our paper, and Kathy, my amazing assistant, is so good at die cutting and using up all of the paper in such a thoughtful way. So sometimes it means we're cutting it a little close, right? I'm going to nestle these flowers, kind of tucking them in. I've got dimensionals on them already, so it makes it really quick and easy to put these together. I've got my little butterflies. Oh, they're so pretty. These butterflies are really different. Let me show you what they look like on the sheet. So this is the back side of the sheet. The front side is like that beautiful gold foil, but they turn it around so that it doesn't get damaged. You can see a little bit there. But see how many you get on a sheet? It's just incredible. Lots of solid ones, lots of these open style ones, and then tons and tons of little itty bitty ones too. So we got happy, birthday. I might put this up a little bit more here. I don't want to cover up my beautiful ribbon. You can even purposely angle it. What a clever idea that would be. I'm going to do it. Doesn't have to be that much though. Whoa, crazy. That one I didn't take the backing off. Happy birthday to you. Kind of playful, right? Then I've got these two little white flowers. I'm going to use my take your pick tool with that. Where do I have it? There it is, here. I'm going to use this putty tip, lifting that up, holding it as like a kind of tweezer almost, and then putting a little daub of glue on the background. And then I actually take this apart and use this like this to separate it. And then I can put these cute little flowers on. I'm not a person who likes finicky things, and so the take your pick tool for me is a game changer because it means that I'm able to interact with products or components of products that are a little bit more finicky than I would like typically, but it means that I can actually do it in a way that doesn't drive me nuts. So also take your pick tool is great for placing embellishments. We've got some gorgeous new embellishments. These ones here have a beautiful rhinestone in the middle of them. So I'm just putting one of those in the top and one of those at the bottom. Oops. There we go. And then I've got plain rhinestones. I mean, as plain as rhinestones get, that you can scatter kind of around these pretty flowers. Oh, I just love this card. It's so different, isn't it? It's kind of soft and vintagey feeling almost, without it feeling like fuddy-duddy, if that makes any sense to you. Look at me with my take your pick tools all lined up. So you can, in theory, have one take your pick tool and then interchange all of these ends, which are sold separately. So even like the little hook and the super long pointer, you've seen me use actually all of these so far today. You've got the scalpel knife almost. This is the original. It comes with the putty, the regular pointer, and this kind of, what do we call that? Scooper? I don't know. It's like a flat piece of metal. And then this is the die brush attachment. And then there's also the large and small embossing, which is how I did those lines on your two-tone cardstock. So there you go. That's your take your pick to a sales pitch right there. You can tell I'm a fan, right? Okay, all right. From our catalog, let's talk about where these products come from. So on page 72, I used the Rhinestone Basic Jewels, and those were just the small size I used on there to kind of supplement our beautiful new floral embellishments, which I will show you in a second. We also used no, that's not it at all. I'm using the wrong little tabs here. This top one. There we go. I also use the Simply Scored scoring tool. You could also use the paper trimmer, which has a little scoring blade on there too. Those are found on page 74. They're great for doing all kinds of projects, including boxes and custom envelopes. But the real showcase here is from our online exclusives, which is this Framed Violets bundle. So the stamp set you can see includes this beautiful oval and a whole bunch of different images, great sayings there as well. And then the die pack has a big oval, which we used here on its own, or you can use it to cut out the stamp set oval here. And you can even make it into a frame if you wanted to use the smaller oval and nest it in the center there. So lots of options for ovals. Then you also can cut out many of the images, as well as some standalone images here, like the leaves and these flowers, which don't have coordinating stamps, but are great to be cut out of designer series paper or even cardstock too. So another part of this suite is the really incredible designer series paper. This is called Violet Dreams, and it has designer series paper patterns that have like a dark background, a light background, this beautiful repeating diamond pattern. Can you guys see that? It's really pretty. And a smaller repeating diamond pattern, you can see. And the back sides are kind of like polka dots and repeating diamonds and stripes and patterns. And also, of course, the ones that I ended up using for this card, which were the Hydrangea Hue stripe and the Fresh Freesia stripe. The other part of this kit is that this designer series paper pack is that you get 2 sheets of ephemera included in the pack. So this is all that I have left of it because we use so many pieces. But you can see the leaves came from here. These little flowers, the little white flowers came from there. All of these pre-printed flowers came in this sheet that was 12 by 12. So you got lots to play with there. Lots of elements that you can layer onto projects. Not from this suite, but from our online exclusives. We've got our beautiful butterflies. These are called Gilded Wings accents. Comes with 1 sheet of the gold, and you can pop out all of these laser cut pieces and embellish your projects with them. We also have these really pretty embellishments. They're called adhesive backed blooms, and these are the ones that have the little rhinestone in the center. You see those there? You've got 3 different colors. Gosh, I wish I knew what they were. This one I feel like is Gorgeous Grape almost. Fresh Freesia and a white version. And then our ribbon, also from the online exclusives. This is the Fresh Freesia, and it's a 1/4 inch satin ribbon. Really pretty, gorgeous for tying, and I really like using it for a technique like this because it adds so much sheen and texture to your cards. All right, on to the next. And I just keep cranking through these cards tonight. Look at us go. The next one is something completely different, really fun, really playful, but more online exclusive. It's like I'm a broken record here. I'll show you the products for this one first, and then you'll kind of understand how this is going to come together. So first of all, when you get your kit, I'd like for you to pull out this piece here and feel it, because it feels different, and look at it because it looks a little bit different. We've got one side that's a basic white and then one side that has a nice sheen on it. This is using a new bundle that we have and a coordinating washi tape. So Summer Happiness is from our online exclusives. It's got some great sayings that are good for scrapbooking or for card making. Really fun images, and then the dies to go along with those too. These dies also go with the coordinating washi tape, which is this really thick, wide washi tape. So what we're using this for on our projects is actually two different things. You're going to have this as a designer series paper essentially. So I'll show you how I put that onto some basic white. And then we're also using it as our little embellishment here. So using the dies, Kathy did some die cutting for me and cut out the washi tape pieces so that we can have a little embellishment to put over the top. So just as I'm going through this here, I can show you how to put this together to make your own designer series paper, if that's what you so choose to do with this product. What I ended up doing was, because I was making basically almost card fronts, I did a sheet of basic white paper where I put washi tape along the top and the bottom, and I lined it up against the edge here. You just have to be thoughtful about putting it flat onto the card so that it doesn't have any like little wrinkles. They get a little bit tricky sometimes to iron out, but you can lift it and then you can press it down. So once you've got that going, then you can press it. I trimmed off the excess from the back side here using some paper snips, or even a paper cutter would work. And then using my regular paper cutter, I cut this into card fronts basically. So I snipped down here and here, taking out this middle panel that's just that exposed basic white, and then I cut it in half so that we ended up with 4 pieces that 4 people could use for their cards. So with that information, let's put together our project, which is going to look something like this. And this card has a really fun little feature to it. We're going to put on a spinner. So when you use this, you can spin around an embellishment. This works really great for even the gears, the cogs as well. But I thought that this was really fun and playful. So you can get these little spinners on Amazon. They're going to be called nail spinners, which is kind of weird. They're available in 2 different sizes in the pack that I got here. So a smaller and a large one. And they are made of metal. They're a little bit thicker than a dimensional, and they have the bearings inside which allow whatever you adhere to it to spin. So one of those is included in your pack. Just make sure you're keeping track of that. Let's start to put together the rest of this project here. So we've got our Coastal Cabana cardstock base. So fun, so playful. And finish that with our bone folder. Then I did my sneaky trick of, instead of having a big wide piece of the strawberry slush, I'm just putting a little border on the top and the bottom. You can make the border as thick or as thin as you want. I might do this one a little bit thicker, just for fun. It's going to be longer so that you can have it match perfectly with your cardstock. There's nothing worse than short cardstock strips, right? I'm going to adhere this to my card base, and then I'll trim it off as soon as it's attached there. So putting that onto, oh gosh, I almost did the thing. Don't do the thing. Okay, before we adhere it, let's just wrap around the ribbon. This might be in the Timid Tiger or the Strawberry Slush color, or even the Darling Duckling. It was on the clearance rack. No, that's not what we call it anymore, is it? Last chance products list. I'm just going to wrap it around here, and then all I did here was tie this knot onto that, so this can actually like kind of slip up and down. You could even tie a knot and then glue it on with a mini glue dot. So I'm just going to start this though by putting this card like that. I can snip off the excess, polished pink strips to match the length of the card, looking so gorgeous and put together. And then this little extra piece here, I'm just wrapping around like this. Just like that. And snipping off the excess. I really like the mesh of this ribbon. It has such a satisfying sound when you snip it too. Isn't that funny how things like that just really, I don't know, appeal to a person? For our spinner, you'll have to be a little bit thoughtful as to where you figure the center of this is. So I would actually recommend using a mini glue dot to hold this on because it's repositionable, more repositionable anyways than like a Tombow liquid glue or something like that. So I'm going to just stick this wider one on to my pineapple. That's what I'm spinning here. I'm going to try to be thoughtful about where I figure that the center of the weight is so that it doesn't go upside down, but knowing that I can move this afterwards if I need to. Then for the saying, I did a little bit of white heat embossing. So if you wanted to do that, of course you can. You can also go with Versamark for the matchy ink, or if you want to use that Coastal Cabana, that's a great option for you too. I'm using the stamp set that coordinates with this, Summer Happiness, and I think Fun in the Sun is the one for me today. So I've got that ready to go with my super sticky Versamark ink. I'm going to stamp that onto my cardstock. It's sticky, but it's clear, and that stickiness is going to hold on my embossing powder, which I got just right here. Sprinkle that on. Take off the excess. You can even use your take your pick tool to help to collect. This little putty tip is great for collecting any of those extra little granules of your heat embossing powder. And always make sure I put that out of the way. There's nothing worse than blowing around all of your embossing powder. Embossing is my favorite technique. It's the thing that got me hooked all those many years ago. And it's just magic to me when you can use this incredibly hot heat tool to melt the powder into the paper, making it shiny. Even comes in metallics as well. You can put white embossing powder onto black paper and have it just look so crisp and clean. And it is a really fun little tactile approach as well. So as soon as it turns shiny all over, then we're done and we're ready to apply it to our card. This washi tape does have a little bit of a shiny feel, which is tricky when you're adhering things to it. So our ribbon was attached from the back, and we attached the basic white side of the paper to the cardstock. So we haven't had any interactions with this front part yet, but in testing, I found that the dimensionals worked pretty well, and the Tombow multi-purpose glue worked pretty well. So what I would recommend doing though for this, we've got such a thick embellishment going on the front here. I didn't want to add more bulk in the form of dimensionals. So I'm just going to apply this with the Tombow multi-adhesive, putting that onto our washi. I don't know why it's called washi tape. Do we know? Like, it just is. It just is what it is, right? It's just always been washi, always will be washi. I don't know. Now that I've got that setting on there and drying, though, I can apply another mini glue dot here to the other side of our metal spinner. And I think it's on there. Yep. And I can stick that up just wherever I want here. So how I recommend that you kind of figure out where the center of gravity is, just by letting it be. So now I'm feeling like I need this to be a little bit lower. So I'm going to just use my take your pick tool to kind of separate this. I've still got my little glue dot on there. And let's see if I can play around and make it so it works and sits nicely. Look at that. It's kind of lined up perfectly with the other pineapple underneath. Man, I didn't even try that, but that is really a happy accident. Oh yeah, that's good. Very fun. Woohoo! And then the final finishing touch here. We'll put that back in place. Stick these cute little polish dots, I think is what they're called. Just put a few of them around here. These are in the in colors actually. So Strawberry Slush, Timid Tiger, and Darling Duckling, which seem to just work so well with this card. Whoops, I bent this a little bit when I pulled it up. So just try to flatten out your paper and then you'll get that beautiful spinning look. Yahoo! So fun, so joyful. Fun in the sun. Let's talk about where to get these products, because most of them are online. You'll have to just check online. What we do have from the catalog, though, are the here we go, in color dots. These are the 2026 to 2028 colors. That's true, isn't it? No, it's not. Where are they? Oh, they must be online exclusives then, because it's not those ones. It's the oh no, are they these ones here? What are they? No, they are online exclusives now. That's what they are. Okay, yeah, sorry. They would normally be found on this page, except that they're online exclusives, so make sure you check online. And our Heat Tool and our Metallics Wow or Basics Wow. These come with the Metallics with copper, gold, and silver embossing powder, and the Basics Wow are black, clear, and white. You'll need a pack of both of those, right? And then the rest are online exclusives, including that really adorable bundle, Summer Happiness, the washi tape to go along with it. And guys, there's so much washi tape on this. You can do all kinds of projects. This is really fun even for scrapbook pages. You can have it going right across the sheet, 12 by 12, no problem, whatever size you're working with. And again, those dies are going to cut out all of the imagery, so you can keep using these and adding them as embellishments on your projects too. Then we've got our ribbons. Again, these ones I think were on the last chance list, so take a peek. They might still be there. And our circle came from the Stylish Shapes dies, which stitches on the inside and the outside of the die cutting edge. So you can use this as a circle with stitching around the edge. And what's left is actually a piece of cardstock that has a hole in it with stitching around that hole. So you can use it as like a peekaboo window, positive or negative, however you're doing it. Alrighty, on to our last card. We're just sailing right along here. Look at us go. I'm so curious to hear what your favorite card is from the evening. Yeah, it's a beautiful one. Here it is. Really different vibe than the last two cards, right? But that's one of my favorite things, is to show you a whole bunch of different styles. This is going to be our fun fold of the class, and it's an easel card. I'm like mentally connected with Stampin' Up! Right now, because this is another easel fold. So this is the card that we're going to be making here. It's got really beautiful stamping, layering, some embellishments, some spackling, this elongated hexagon, which comes from the ephemera pack that I'm giving away for free with a minimum $100 order this month. And then we've also got our Lily of the Valley die cuts, an archway cutout. Remember, I was just talking about the positive and negative. This would be using the negative image, so it's framing whatever we have there. And then when we open up this card, we can set it into an easel format, so it can just sit nicely on our table or mantle. And you've got a little saying for the inside too. So let's work on putting this together. There's a few different components where you have the opportunity to customize, and so I'll just walk you through those as we go. let's start with our cardstock base, folding that in half on the score line that I've already done there and burnishing that. And then this is scored in half again, so like a quarter. It's at 2 3/4 of an inch. If you are on my newsletter list, you're going to receive either tomorrow or the next day supply lists that are giving you cutting instructions and the supplies for everything that we use for these cards. And that's just a happy benefit of being on my newsletter list. Not only do you get to hear about all my upcoming events and specials from Stampin' Up! And from me, but you'll also get these tutorials. So, and then you can always reference this online class, but it's pretty great to receive the pre-cut materials, right? Right. Okay. You know that by placing a $40 minimum order or signing up for Stampin' Up! Card Club for the next 6 months, that's kind of the way to do it. So just make sure you're signing up. July and January, there are extra perks. So you'll want to reach out to me and see the ins and outs, the different options, and secure your spot so you can get your gift, even your discounts too. This piece here is going to go over top of this, but I don't want to apply it yet. I want to do some stamping techniques on it first, but I am going to use it to lay out my card a little bit. So what I'm going to show you is a really fun technique with the Tombow multi-adhesive glue. And so I'm going to do it right now so that it starts to dry. Tombow adhesive has a really great feature. When it dries, before you stick it to something else, it actually dries tacky. So you can use this as a positioning tool. What I'm going to do is put a tiny little bit of adhesive on this, and instead of sticking it to my paper, I'm going to let it dry, just not stuck to anything. So I'm going to put it well out of my way here so that I don't put supplies in it, and then I'll be able to put it down on this card and then lift it off and still do my stamping and crafting around there. So let's work from the inside. The inside has our cute ephemera from that gold pack that I'm giving away for free this month with a minimum $100 order. So you've got these beautiful leaves and sprigs that you can put together. And then this part here, this hexagon or elongated hexagon, is going to go into the front. And I'm just going to get that ready to go here. There we go. So on the inside of the card, when we fold up our easel card, we want the easel to be held in place maybe about an inch from the top fold here. So I'm going to use my Designer Series paper to kind of create a little wedge that's going to hold my easel card in place. So how we do that is just by lifting it up a little bit. On the back side, I'm going to put 3 dimensionals through the regular size dimensionals. Then I'll put it about an inch from the top and in a little bit from each side, because since it's 4 inches long. That's just a nice cutting dimension with Designer Series paper because it's 12 by 12. You might want to do a test drive. If it doesn't hold it up nicely, you can burnish these edges a little bit more. You might find you want to move the easel down a little bit, and you might even find that once you've got all the different layers on the front here that it holds it up really nicely. So don't stress too much if it's not working right now. That's something that you can change later if you need to, okay? So I've got that piece. I'm going to do my stamping in a little bit here, so I'm going to keep this tag to the side. That is meant to be added with a little saying if you want to on the inside. But for right now, I'm going to use my Tombow adhesive again to add some little sprigs to the inside of my card with this gold pattern. I really wanted to include this, but when I started putting it on the front, I felt like it was too much. So if that's something you want to do, go to town. You can put these wherever you'd like. But I'm kind of decorating the inside of my card a little bit. And you don't need much of this Tombow adhesive, but when you stick this onto other cardstock immediately, it is kind of a permanent hold. I mean, it's possible to get it off, I guess, with a lot of convincing, but I would call it a permanent hold. Whereas what we've got going on here on the side here is turning into a tacky hold. And you can see it's starting to dry, but it still has a bit of white there when it goes to just a tone on tone kind of clear, shiny look. that's when it's ready to go. So just give that a little bit more time. I'm doing the tiniest little dots here of Tombow. So pretty. That's really nice on the inside. And then on the outside, we can set this card base aside. We're going to start working on the panel here for the outside. So this panel, you can customize. What I've done, instead of just leaving it the Pool Party standard solid color, I'll see if my camera can pick up here what I've done. I did a stamping technique where it's Pool Party tone on tone. So Pool Party ink onto Pool Party cardstock. And then I even went in with my blending brush and added a little bit more texture and dimension of color. So what I'm talking about here is involving an ink pad, blending brush, or you can even use little sponge daubers, and a texture stamp. The ones that I would recommend, maybe from Nature Symphony, this one right here adds a nice texture. That's what I used yesterday. Let me see if I have that sample handy. I do. So that one here ended up looking like this. Can you see that? So I stamped it once, twice, 3 times, and then I did some blending over the top there of the Pool Party, and then did some splattering techniques, which I'll show you in a minute here. So Nature Symphony has a great one. Lily of the Valley is the stamp set that coordinates with the dies that we're using, so that's why I have this one in the stack. Fern and Flora was the one that I used for my other sample. So this stamp here is the one that I did tone on tone. I really like this bundle. Extraordinary Life has this cute little hexagon pattern, which you can do in a repeating pattern. It's great for behind the scenes stamping. And Gears and Textures has so many options. You've got splatters and speckles and cross hatches and lines and like squiggly circles and splatters. And this is the one that I was actually talking about with the gears and the spinners. You can use these gears with like the spinners from the last card, and you can even have them as cogs rotating together on your card. There's so many fun things that you can do with this amazing, unique bundle. So Gears and Textures is what that one's called. It's great for doing all kinds of techniques like that. Elements of Text I did want to show you as well. This is a really unique one, but unfortunately it's not available from Stampin' Up! Anymore. But if you have this one in your collection, this would be a great stamp for tone-on-tone stamping. I'm going to use this Fern and Flora one though again. And let's just take a look. Oh, it's still needing to dry a little bit more, but I think that I can align this and not worry too much about getting this in the wrong spot, because I think it's just going to go right about there. So Pool Party, if you're really concerned and your piece is not dry yet, you can lay it, you know, facing up like this for now. That's okay with this part, right? So we've got this cool line art stamp. Again, this is from Fern and Flora. If you have a smaller one, you can do a repeating pattern, but I kind of like just this size going in behind my little Lily of the Valley. I've got my blending brush, and I'm going to start applying it a little bit further down where my leaves are going to cover, just because sometimes you get a little bit of a splooch, and then kind of dragging the color up from there. So the most intense color is going to be hidden by the leaves, and then I'm going to get this beautiful kind of softer looking application of color where it's going to be a little bit more visible. So I've got that. You can see it's just a little bit of a variance in color, adding a little bit of extra depth. So that's, again, Pool Party for the coordinating color. You could use whatever color that you wanted, though. It doesn't have to be coordinating. Now the part that I wanted to really use this for, I might have to use my heat tool to speed things up a little bit. I'm going to just heat tool this. Get it cooperating with me. It's not a huge deal because if the adhesive kind of sticks, that would be fine, right? It's going to be adhered there afterwards. But what I actually did for this one is popped it up with dimensionals. So I'd like to do that again just because it lifts up that pretty peacock layer away from the pool party layer and just adds that extra dimension. But the reason why I want to have this frame for this next step kind of in place is so that I can get a layout of where I'm going to stamp my super sticky clear Versamark ink so I can do the text here with heat embossing. So this is a metallic paper, but this stamping here, I wanted it to be like a metallic gold to go along with it. So it's not shining in the light, but it is a shimmery gold saying. So the sayings that I'm using actually are coming from Botanical Expressions. So I'm using I'm thankful for you. And then on the inside, I put you bring so much joy to my life. I like this saying set because you've got lots of different cursive options and plain text options. But I like the size and scale of these to fit within these elements that I kind of have, you know, a finite size that I'm working with. So I want to make sure that I'm stamping this in the right spot. Not too high, not too low, so that when I apply this, it's going to be kind of in this location. But I don't want to apply it yet because I'm going to be doing that heat embossing and I would hate for it to damage the foil in some way. So what I'm going to do is lay it where I think it's going to go. Take my Versamark, my clear ink, and stamp. This is the hardest part. I have to bring it a little closer to me. Sorry if I'm stamping off screen here. I promise I'm not trying to hide it from you. I just want it to work. And it's hard with my camera and all my equipment in the way. So I am thankful for you. Get stamped there. And again, it's that super sticky clear ink, which will hold on the embossing powder. I'll probably want to pull this off at this point. That's why it's handy to have that as its temporary sticking power. I'm thankful for you. You want to wait a little bit between doing the other stamping. The other stamping is technically a fast drying water-based ink, whereas this is a really thick sticky ink, but you still might find that you end up with a little bit of extra powder stuck to it. You can use a whole bunch of different tools for this. Don't have my paintbrush here. You can use your finger. The embossing trays come with a paintbrush, and then I think I've already shown you this today that you can use take your pick tool, and that works really, really well. The reason why you want to clear off any of those extra speckles is wherever there is embossing powder on your paper when it's being heat set, that's where it's going to stay. It's going to melt right in there. So even if you don't have the super sticky ink there and you just have a speckling of it on there, you will still have that attached to your paper forever. So I'm doing this one, and then I'm going to do the inside piece as well. So pretty the way that changes. It's like magic. Okay, so that's the front outside part. Then I've got this little inside tag. Again, that's got a smaller saying on there. You bring so much joy to my life. Our embossing tools package also includes these reverse reverse tweezers, which clamp it closed without you applying any pressure, and they have a ceramic tip to them so that you can use your heat embossing. Oh, I just put a little bit of powder off my S there. There we go. So you can hold it with the ceramic without it burning your fingers. That's an important thing. I love these ceramic tweezers because when they are just naturally being held, you don't have to have any pressure. They're reverse tweezers, so they're clamp closed unless you put pressure on them and then they clamp open. They work like an extra set of hands, and I always need an extra set of hands in everything that I'm doing. Beautiful. That's ready to go, nice and quick. Put away all my stamping stuff, and now we just go into assembly. Really? Let's finish up the inside first with this little tag. Oh, that's my sample. Here we go. So stamp and seal, just to make it go flat onto your designer series paper. You don't need to bring more dimension to that section. It's already popped up so nicely to hold that easel card. Then let's put together this front panel here. So this is ready to go. I'm going to put on my little frame. So now I've got my Tombow adhesive on there that's still working as a temporary, but what I'm ready for is a permanent bit of adhesive. So I'm going to use my dimensional side pieces. And I hope that these are small enough. They're not quite, actually. You know what I have to do is use my other mini dimensional side pieces and make a little rectangle version. That's what I did in the past. I just didn't do it this time. It's funny. Here we go. I love making little custom strips out of all my designer, or sorry, my dimensional edges. So nice to be able to customize these adhesives even more. There we go. And some bigger dimensionals for where we have more room to hide them. And now I can put this onto my pool party. Oh. There we go. And now this frame can go over top. And then I'm going to nestle in my beautiful die cut Lily of the Valley. This is a pretty small border, you guys, so you'll have to just make sure that you're doing your best to make it equal. But don't get hung up if it's not, because it's on dimensionals especially. It's kind of more forgiving that it doesn't have like a perfect, if it's not aligned perfectly, shall I say. So we've got that part. Now we can do our little ephemera piece. I'm using just my Tombow and not even squeezing hardly at all. I'm just putting the tiniest little bit, just at the corners mostly. You can even use the tip, put a little bit on, and then kind of like scoop it off almost to make sure that you are getting the proper amount. You want to have a restrained hand on this part though. I am thankful for you. So much wow factor when you just place that little piece on there, hey? Let's continue building up this card, and then I'll show you how to apply it to the base. We've got two leaves that are the same here actually, but if you flip one of them around, then they end up looking totally different. So what I'm going to do is put dimensionals on the upper part, and then I'll have a flat adhesive like my Stamp and Seal that I put on the bottom. And I put those ones on first because you can kind of like nestle them in here, layer them up, and then this little piece can just be tucked right inside, like it's coming straight out of there. So to adhere this, I like to use the mini dimensionals. I even cut some of them in half. You don't have to have them on every single Lily of the Valley flower. A few is probably fine. Let's see here. snip some of these in half. Oh, look at, I've got a couple of halfsies there. All ready to go. Perfect. Might do this end one here, and then one of these middle ones. Just like that. The part here that's the hardest is sometimes getting those little backers off. You can use your take your pick tool for that too. It's great. And that just gets tucked right inside, coming out. In the past, we colored the stem of this. I'm not getting hung up on that tonight. I'm showing you so many other techniques. Oh boy, and I forgot to show you the one technique that I was really excited to show you before I put all my layers on there. Funny. I wanted to show you these amazing new glimmer brushes and how you can use this golden glow color to create this really beautiful golden spackle look. Can you see that there? Sometimes my camera lights blow everything out. So can you see those little speckles? You can do this in a really controlled fashion. If you're worried about getting your flowers, you can kind of tuck them to the side. You can pull them out. You can even use a little bit of a mask. Just do it like this. A handy dandy post-it note. Has a little mask and the leaf too, just so I don't get it all gold. And you can use your lid to just flick some little speckles onto your project. There's a little speckles there. I'm going to do a little masking over here so that I can get a little bit of speckles there too. Again, it would be nice if I had remembered that before. Oh boy. But hey, that worked out, didn't it? Perfect. So now that I've got my card front kind of all ready to go, the only finishing touch is to put on these cute little dewdrop embellishments. They have 3 of them in your pack, 2 different sizes. So put them on there however you see fit. But I just love how these don't add another color. They just kind of freshen up the project and make it look so dewy, really. Now, when you're putting this onto your card base, we want to remember that our easel mechanism is only achieved if we don't have adhesive on the back of the top gluing our card flat. Then we would just have like a regular opening, right? If we want to use that adhesive, or sorry, that easel mechanism, what I like to do is layer this on the back side so that I know I can only put adhesive from that line lower. It's kind of my foolproof way of making sure that I don't glue my card closed so that it doesn't open properly. I'm going to put a fair amount of tear and tape on there. Tear and tape is great because it's a really super sticky adhesive and it works really well for components that are moving. So we'll just do that. And now when we lay our card down, it will be perfectly aligned and have that pop open mechanism that will stay as an easel. Ta-da! Oops. Good if you don't have sticky fingers. There you go. Ta-da! So there you have it, folks, our last card. I'm going to show you where these products come from, and then I have a very important question for you. So get your fingers ready in the comment section. Whether you're live or on the replay, I want to hear from you. What's your favorite project that we did tonight? I'm going to lay them all out at the end here. The Valley and Bloom Suite collection is incredible. There's so many different products in this suite, but some of my favorite products that we used here today are the Lily of the Valley stamp set and the dies that go along with it, which includes actually another die that's not pictured here that is just that leaf, that standalone leaf. So that's a really fun die. We also used a bit of the Designer Series paper, which has so many different patterns. Even the leaves that you have there on that project are not cut from a solid cardstock piece. They are cut from a designer series paper, which is like a modeled watercolor look almost. And there's that piece there. Oh, look at these though. Incredible for scrapbooking. There's another one, I think, too. You can even use those for card fronts. This is such a pretty design with it coming in from all of the corners. So yeah, lots of great options in that designer series paper pack. We also used the Everyday Arches dies. This is one of the largest ones. And it was actually for a project that I did for my Make and Mingle mega class that I did with my friends Lindsay and Lauren. We have another one coming in November. We just have a couple spots left, so make sure you register for that one. But we needed the arch from the inside, but I kept the negative pieces so that we could use it on a project in the future. And I just love how this one came together with those pieces that really could be considered trash or recycling. And we're able to use it again. Then we also have the Dewdrop embellishments. These ones come with 3 different colors. So Old Olive is the green, Secret Sea is the blue, and then there's the clear color, which we used on our project tonight. We also have the heat tool and the metallic wow embossing powders. I use the blending brushes. They come in 2 different sizes. So you might want, larger ones for certain reasons and smaller ones for other ones. So I kind of have a selection of colors that work for like oranges and reds and yellows and blues and things like that. And then you can rinse them off and work in between those. You've also got the ability to use those shimmer brushes as a paintbrush with color in them, or you can use them as a speckling technique. So make sure you pick up one of those golden glow so that you can have a gold to go along with your Wink of Stella, which has more of a silver look. And then I showed you all those other stamp sets, so I won't go through all those again, but there's lots of different options that you can use for those background stamps there. I love this card. And of course, that ephemera pack, which has a whole bunch of sheets. So they look like this. The other side is gold, and you get 5 of these sheets, which include like the small hexagon and the elongated hexagon, and then the larger version of the hexagon and the larger version of the elongated, as well as all those little sprigs. And of course, those embellishments that we used on a previous project. So I've laid them all out here so that you can see what we made, because I hope that you like that I explore a whole bunch of different styles. That's my real goal, to be honest, is to showcase as many different stamping styles as possible, which hopefully appeal to everyone. I mean, we all have different people in our life that have different sensibility and have different style aesthetic. And so I hope that these appeal to your style, not just your style, but the people who you're planning on giving them to, right? So I can think of specifically people who are perfect for each of these cards. So that's why I like having a variety of different cards for myself. And I hope you enjoy that too, but I always like to know which ones you like best. So can you guess which one I like best? Maybe put it in the comments as well. I love to hear how you know me as well, because many of you have been stamping with me for a long time. So once again, thank you so much for joining me for this online tutorial. You can watch this on replay forever on YouTube. They only save it for a month on Facebook now, but you can watch all of my video tutorials on YouTube from the past 6 years of crafting online. And reach out to me too, because I have many of those kits still available with prepped supplies that you can use your own saying stamp sets and neutral ink and adhesives to put together and completely customize them along with the online class. So thank you again for joining me, and I hope to stamp with you again very soon.